guys, so today's video is going to be a tutorial for this look, which is obviously very different than the videos that I usually do on my channel, but sometimes you just need to step out of the neutral box and do something fun and creative. So I actually love how this look turned out. Like, I feel like it might be my alter ego. I feel like we might need to name her, so give me some ideas in the comments. So this is definitely more like fantasy-based, whimsical type of makeup, and there's a lot going on in this look, so let me break it down for you guys really quick. I did like a berry-toned eye look with some iridescent purples and lots of lashes, so it gives that really, you know, doll eyes, doe-eyed type of effect. And I just went in with the highlighter, so I did like almost a holographic highlighter look using like blues and pinks and purples, and then for an added touch, as if that wasn't enough, I decided to add some faux freckles, which is kind of funny because I have real freckles, but sometimes by the time you apply your foundation, your concealer, and your powders and all of that, they don't really show up as well. So I just added some freckles back on my face. So this look is actually brought to you guys by Ulta Beauty. So they are teaming up with Refinery 29 to do a really cool event in New York City that I'm going to be attending, which I'm super excited about, and it's called 29 Rooms. So Ulta's theme for their room is Beauty Wonderland, so that is what inspired this entire look pretty much. I wanted it to be a little bit mysterious, a little bit, you know, whimsical and playful and all that stuff rolled into one, and I cannot wait to see what their room looks like. I can just envision it in my mind, and I feel like that's just the perfect theme for them. Every time I go there, I just feel like such a kid in a candy store because it is like a candy store for makeup lovers almost. So everything I'm using in this video, I picked up pretty recently at Ulta. So I'm gonna be trying out some new things and just using some products that I've been loving forever as well. So if you wanna see exactly how to get this fun, whimsical, like fairy tale glam look, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, so getting started with this look, the first thing that I always like to do is prime my skin. So I'm using the Benefit Cosmetics Professional Matte Rescue, and this is a mattifying gel, but I like to use it as a face primer. So after I've got that on, I'm gonna use the Benefit Do the Hula. This is a liquid bronzer. I love the shade of this. It's so natural and it really warms up your skin. So I use this when my skin tone on my face isn't quite matching my body, and I just apply it with a little dual fiber stippling brush. And once I feel like my skin is nice and warmed up, I'm gonna move on to foundation. And today I'm using this Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation Plus Concealer. And the shade that I'm using is Buttermilk. I love this because it has a really jumbo-sized doe foot applicator, and I discovered this when I was looking for a new foundation at Ulta pretty recently, and I wanted one with full coverage, and this is definitely perfect for that. So I'm just applying it with a damp makeup sponge. Okay, so once our foundation is blended in and we have a nice flawless finish, I'm gonna move on to brows. And today I'm using the Ka-Brow Cream Gel Brow Color. This one is also by Benefit, and I'm using shade number 2. I really love this product a lot, and even the brush that comes with it is super easy to use to apply the product. So once I have my brows nice and filled in, I'm gonna use the Air Patrol Eye Primer by Benefit to prime my lids, and then we can move on to eyeshadow. And today the palette I'm using is one of my favorites. It is the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia, and I'm just using the shade Tempera to set my lids, and I'm mostly focusing that on the outer part of our lids because a lot of our eyeshadows are going to be on the inside. I'm applying Bon Fresco with a blending brush, and this is actually going on the inner part of the eye. And once I have that really diffused out, I'm going to take raw sienna and just use that to help blend out that color further into the inner part of the crease. And I'm pretty much just going back and layering both of those two colors. And then we're going to take Love Letter, which is a really pretty matte raspberry shade, and start diffusing that right directly into the crease to bring in some more purpley pink into the look. So then I'm just going back and forth between the pink and the brown shades and just working them into the crease, but mostly focusing them into that inner part of the eye. It's just going to give it more of a dramatic effect. Then I'm going to pick up Venetian Red, which is a pretty burgundy shadow, and I'm applying that to the inner half of the lid. So I'm just starting to really buff that onto the inner part of the lid, and then I'm going to use a smaller brush and just start packing that right on, and then layering some of the brighter pink, the Love Ladder shadow, right on top. And every time I'm adding color, I'm going back to make sure I blend and buff everything out with a blending brush, especially when we're using such intensely pigmented shadows in the inner part of the eye. Then I'm picking up this stunning purple iridescent shadow by Urban Decay called Asphyxia. And when you layer a color like this over a matte shadow, it completely transforms it, but you still have that shading underneath. So I'm applying this right over the shadows in the crease and the inner corner. It's gonna bring in some iridescence and some dimension, and it really gives it that otherworldly type of effect. Then I'm gonna take the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. First, I'm using this to create a bit of a cut crease on the lids, and I'm just applying that with a flat brush, and I'm gonna layer my other shadows on top of it. So first, Vermeer, which is a pretty pink champagne shadow. Next, I'm taking this eyeshadow by Buxom called Diamond Darling, and this is a pretty pearly, shimmery cream color, and I'm applying that right to the center of my lid and just using my finger. And then I'm just touching up that pink shadow on the inner part of the lid and just doing some blending before I move on to the lower lash line. And I'm applying Venetian Red to that lower lash line and making sure I really hug the inner corner of the eye around the tear duct again. And we're pretty much following the same steps. I'm gonna layer Love Letter on top of that. This time I'm layering more of a bluish lavender color on top. This is La La Lavish by Buxom, and that's going right over top those lower lash line colors. I also applied that into the inner tear duct just to brighten that up, and did some more touch-ups with my shadows. I felt like I wanted to intensify the crease colors with a bit more pink. Once the eyeshadow is done, it is of course time to move on to lashes, and I'm using these Ardell Soft Touch 162s that I recently found when I was shopping for some makeup goodies. I believe these are new to the Ardell line, but they became fast favorites just after the first time of trying them. I love these so much. They're really pretty and very easy to apply too. Here I'm applying the Tarteist Lash Paint Mascara by Tarte Cosmetics, and this is a really great mascara. It's nice in dark black, and I'm just using that to blend my natural lashes with my falsies. Going back to the Born This Way concealer, and by the way, I am using the shade Light. So I just apply this underneath my eyes and certain places around my face to highlight just a touch. And don't be afraid to really get in there with your concealer and clean up your eyeshadow, especially when we're bringing it into that inner corner and blending it out a lot. You can use your concealer to kind of tidy up that area. And then I'm going to take my Benefit Hello Flawless powder. This is the Custom Powder Cover Up in the shade Petal, and this is one of my all-time favorites. I'm using this to set my entire face. Sometimes I do like to use a smaller brush to set my foundation around my eyebrows and other hard to reach smaller spots. I'm going back to that La La Lavish shadow, the icy lavender, to brighten up the inner corners of my eyes even more. Then for an ultra wide-eyed look, I'm going to use these Ardell lower lashes, and I like to nestle these underneath my natural lashes and apply them with tweezers. And I love these because they are actually really easy to apply and they have a huge impact, but you definitely want to make sure you use some clear lash glue for this. To bronze the skin, I'm using my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer. Not only does this smell like chocolate, which is amazing, but it's a beautiful color and it blends out so well. So I'm going to wrap this up around my cheekbones and really apply it to my cheeks to warm up my skin. I'm applying it all across my forehead and kind of just all over the face. And because I am a fickle individual when it comes to blush, I couldn't choose between these, so I decided to go with both of them. These are the Tarte Cosmetics Amazonian Clay blushes. I'm applying Exposed first, which looks kind of mauve-y when you look at it, but it's really more of a warmer nude color. So I'm applying that and then layering Captivating on top, which is a pretty peachy shade. Next, I mixed together the two purple shadows we've been using because I felt like this look was just begging for a purple highlight. I wasn't quite ready for it here, but I love the way that this looks. You want to use a very light amount so you get a nice sheer color on your cheekbones, and this just gives your cheeks this fairy glow. It is so gorgeous, so I just went in with this. Then for the lip color, I decided to start off with the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Stripped. So this is a pretty earthy, warm nude color. I love applying my liquid lipsticks and then blending them in and patting them in with my finger. It just gives an ultra pillowy finish to your lips. And on top of that, I'm using the Tarteist Glossy Lip Paint by Tarte, and this shade is really pretty. It's called Hella, and it's like a lighter pale peach. I started off highlighting my lip with that same lavender shadow, and what started off as a little lip highlight turned into a full-on metallic lip color, but I rolled with it because I've been loving the metallic lip trend lately. So I applied that right to the center of my lips, and then I thought the look could benefit from a couple freckles, so I actually used the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade London. So a matte lip color is really great for creating faux freckles. This one is just a little bit more brown, a touch darker than the Stripped liquid lipstick, which is why I use this one. But I'm just using a pointed eyeliner brush. This one is a double-ended Tarte brush, just to dot those freckles on. And the trick is you want to do a few bigger ones and some tinier ones. It just looks more natural. I just love the playful vibe that this gives off, and you don't have to worry about them smudging or smearing because the NYX lip creams also dry to a matte finish, so they will stay put. Then usually when I'm done with more of an involved look like this, I'll just go back and make any adjustments. So I took some face powder just to blend over top of that inner corner, just to soften it a little bit. I still wanted it to be nice and intense. So that is the look. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and huge thanks to Ulta Beauty and 29 Rooms for partnering with me on this video and the event, which by the way is free to the public. So if you guys want to stop by from September 9th to the 11th and check out the Ulta Beauty room, I'll have all the information down below in the info box. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye!